We were both young when I first saw you. I close my eyes and the flashback starts. I'm standing there on a balcony in summer air. See the lights, see the party, the ball gowns. See you make your way through the crowd and say hello. Little did I know that you were Romeo, you were throwing pebbles, and my daddy said stay away from Juliet. And I was crying on the staircase, begging you please don't go. And I said, Romeo, take me somewhere we can be alone. I'll be waiting, all there's left to do is run. You'll be the prince and I'll be the princess. It's a love story, baby, just say yes. So I sneak out to the garden to see you. We keep quiet 'cause we're dead if they knew. So close your eyes, escape this town for a little while. 'Cause you were Romeo, I was a scarlet letter, and my daddy said stay away from Juliet. But you were everything to me, I was begging you please don't go. And I said, Romeo, take me somewhere we can be alone. I'll be waiting, all there's left to do is run. You'll be the prince and I'll be the princess. It's a love story, baby, just say yes. Romeo, save me, they're trying to tell me how to feel. This love is difficult, but it's real. Don't be afraid, we'll make it out of this mess. It's a love story, baby, just say yes. I got tired of waiting, wondering if you were ever coming around. My faith in you was fading when I met you on the outskirts of town. And I said, Romeo, save me, I've been feeling so alone. I keep waiting for you, but you never come. Is this in my head? I don't know what to think. He knelt to the ground and pulled out a ring and said, marry me, Juliet, you never have to be alone. I love you and that's all I really know. I talked to your dad, go pick out a white dress. It's a love story, baby, just say yes. We were both young when I first saw you.
Now we got to go help people customize and save
There's the music. It's 9 o'clock on this Thursday night. That means it's time for the live Zone Primetime. I'm producer Chris. That is Tony P. And Tony P. I mean, America 250.
Yes.
July 4th. America's independence. All of these things to celebrate. And you know what the big story is tonight? Naturally, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce,
of course.
baby. That
we
is
finally
live
basically
picture.
know. We know now.
Live picture from Madison Square Garden, where allegedly they have arrived for their rehearsal dinner.
I mean, her truck was there. Her silver Suburban was there. Okay, Mama Kelce came into town today. Travis was running yesterday. I did the story last night about the lobsters that were showing up. The members of the MSG team are not permitted to have their phones with them. Gee, I wonder what this is. If this was a civil lawsuit or a jury, they would say this is pretty circumstantial, but we're still going to convict. Okay,
Yeah, this is some of the video from our sister station, WNYW. They've had a reporter parked outside
in this heat
all day, not only just capturing what's going on outside on the way in, like you said, seeing that car roll up. Let's see. I think we have video of that car rolling up that you talked about. This is in the bottom corner of the screen right there.
Yeah, that is
allegedly Taylor Swift arriving for tonight's rehearsal. Obviously, the wedding is supposed to take place tomorrow.
Yes.
But also, thank you to everyone out there for joining us, whether you're watching on Fox Local or Fox 5 DC's YouTube page. If you are a huge Swiftie and you have more insight into what is going on,
come on, talk to us. We want to hear you.
We do want to hear from you. We want to hear if you're excited about this, if you are surprised by this, how you're celebrating, how you're marking it. I mean, for a lot of Americans, this is the closest thing to like a royal wedding.
Oh, totally. This
we will get, Tony.
Right, and nothing was like Diana and Charles, so you don't want to put it on that level. However,
but I mean, for
the American version, yes.
My generation, it was William and Kate. You know what I mean? That was
right. And then you had Harry and Meghan. I think this is nowhere near that in the pantheon because of the royal stuff and all that. But I think for American pop culture, this is the biggest wedding that we have ever seen. I think, at least in the modern era, for this kind of situation, because again, how popular she is and just the whole story of this. I mean, Travis Kelce this is during the Eras Tour, 2023, was at Arrowhead Stadium and was sort of mad that he got left on red in the DMs, shows up to her concert and says that, shoots his shot through his podcast and then to her face at her concert, and they start dating, and she's coming in and brings a whole new fan base to football, the Super Bowls. I mean, this is a love story.
It's
really
a love story,
like that
baby.
First
Just
song,
say yes.
Big song.
Tony P. We mentioned that our sister station, Fox New York, had a reporter kind of dedicated outside there, and a little earlier she caught up with some Swifties who had shown up to talk to them about how they were feeling. So take a listen.
We did come to see what was going on. We were like, we have to have the chance of seeing anything related to Taylor Swift's wedding. It is our royal wedding. Like, we need to know what's going on.
She's truly, like, the most creative mind I've ever, heard of. So I feel like it's going to be stunning. Like, some, out of a fairy tale, for sure.
Do you think she's really building a castle inside?
Like, why not? Why not?
I didn't really expect it. I feel like they should have done something more private.
It makes sense that, because New York City is such, a big, cool place, so it makes, I can understand why it would be here, but, like what Emily said, it's not a private place, it's very, public, but I don't know, it could be really nice. I mean, it's beautiful in the city.
Of course it's beautiful in the city, Tony P.
It is,
but I do agree that a lot of people were a little surprised if this was the venue.
Yeah,
the impact the alleged wedding has had on the city of New York has frustrated some people. We talked about that a little bit. But today, the couple at the center of the media frenzy seemingly tried to smooth things over a little bit. They donated $26 million to various charities and organizations across New York and several other states. And coming up a little later, the CEO of one of those beneficiaries is going to join us live to talk all about that donation, the impact, and much, much more.
So many great foundations. I mean, Feeding America, for example, a lot of food banks around Rhode Island and Kansas City and Cleveland and the Ohio area where, of course, both these individuals are from. And it really, what a great gesture. It's a lot of money. This is not, $500,000. This is $26 million. And there were some folks in the comment sections today saying, oh, there's not enough money. As people forget, okay, net worth doesn't mean cash on hand. ladies and gentlemen, okay?
Tony P. breaking it down for us.
and
God bless
listen,
him.
I'm a populist as much as they economically, okay? And I believe in, the rich paying more. However, this is a lot of money, okay? They don't have $150 million in cash, probably, okay? Like, let's be honest.
She is like a billionaire, isn't she? I wouldn't be shocked.
No, but it's in catalogs, it's in stocks, you know how hard it is to sell that? And plus the taxes. So, in my opinion,
Tony
wonderful
P,
gift.
I
Gift.
I just checked my text messages, and it turns out that I am being shamed. I am being shamed for shame. Ring the bell, shame that I did not bring Fox 5 Sydney Persing into the conversation about Taylor and Travis.
I'm like, what?
Because it says, and I quote, "I'm the prime resource."
Okay,
so
this is going to be the first segment then.
we were planning to talk to Sydney all about the heat. But she's bringing the heat tonight,
right?
Because she's talking to us about
the heat in New York coming.
Okay, so you're a prime resource. Are they already married, and this is now just a celebration that they're planning for tomorrow night?
2 theories. Thank you so much for finally looping me in. I will discuss the heat later. Very important.
Yes.
But while you're talking about Taylor Swift, and I'm here, it is only right to bring me in. 2 theories. Yes, I believe it's possible they're already privately married, and this is a celebration. I also believe it's possible that they are going, and a gentleman who was on TMZ kind of alluded to this yesterday. I do believe it's possible they're having the dinner tonight in MSG, that tomorrow they're going to have a ceremony somewhere else, probably in Manhattan, and then have the party at MSG. I don't think the ceremony is at MSG. I could be wrong. But, all these conspiracy theories up until the last couple hours that this was like a ruse and a distraction. They really weren't getting married or having this ceremony at MSG. This couple values privacy. And then I also have lots of other theories as to why this was at MSG. Sort of their whole shtick is she's the performer, he's the athlete. MSG, obviously, like one of the greatest places in the world where performers and athletes meet. She loves New York. She wrote a song about moving to New York and her love for the city. And they want to have a big party. She said she wanted a huge wedding. You can create any type of venue inside that venue you want. People said, the seats are going to look ugly. They're not going to see the seats.
Right.
So I'm very happy for my close personal friend, Taylor Swift. And thank you for letting me talk about it, because I've been thinking about this for days.
Oh, I have one question I want to follow up on, because this is very interesting. We'll get to the weather. It's important. But I think one of the things that's interesting to me is, of course, the choice at MSG. But do you think, given what Taylor Swift has done with some of her Netflix and Hulu stuff about her concerts, do you foresee a live taping or thing coming out of this, or no?
No.
Nothing.
I think that it is possible that at a documentary she does later in time, she mentions it. Maybe, if she's doing a documentary about, I don't know, her next tour, her next album, it's possible that they'll share like a small piece of footage. But Taylor Swift has always been very intentional about what she shares in her private life.
Right.
Her engagement photos, they didn't announce until several days or weeks after they were engaged. She shared like 4 still photos. I think would be out of her character to do a documentary or live stream wedding, but I think she knows that the Swifties will need something eventually. I think she just likes to give us a little and at her own time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think there's going to be a documentary. Though if there were one, I would pay to watch it and call out of work to.
You and many other people. All right. Speaking of work, we don't want to keep you for too long away from the subject at hand tonight. We're going to take another live picture right now. This is from the Great American State Fair, which at this point, Tony P, I mean, I'm not sure if it's still open to the public, but it looks like the carousel is still open.
Yeah.
But Sydney, I know that you are down near there, but the subject of your story tonight is the extreme heat and the impact it's having not only on America 250 celebrations, but July 4th celebrations, the Capitol 4th celebration, rehearsal that was supposed to be tonight, all sorts of things impacted by this.
Lots of things. And yes, it is still going on. We're right across the street from the Great American State Fair. At least I want to say for one more hour. I believe on Thursdays it closes at 10. So we'll start with the Great American State Fair. Lots of folks out there, honestly, given the weather, I was surprised at how many people, given this extreme heat, came out today. I interviewed one man who said, I've been married 52 years and my wife wanted to come, so I'm here. But I don't want to be. There's sort of the miniature arch that's there, and they were taking shade. That man and his, I believe, son under the arch, just because it was the only shade that you could get here. And then people were really inside of those state booths. It was so hot. So they canceled the rodeo, too hot for the animals for the day, but they kept the fair open, free water bottles for everyone. who needed it. There's a medical tent, obviously. Arjen Delgado interviewed someone yesterday here at the fair who said that there's a sort of like a religious tent where they're doing baptisms for people, and a woman said she actually got in the baptism area just to get in the water to cool off. So it's quite hot out here. And this event is just one of many, of course, that officials are monitoring as we go into this holiday weekend. So on Saturday, Salute to America, that's the Freedom 250 event. That's going to be where the president talks. It's going to include the flyover, the fireworks after. So they announced tonight that given this heat advisory, the Washington Monument grounds are going to open to the public at 5 p.m. I believe previously they were going to open at 1 p.m. because they don't want people out in this prolonged heat. Chris, as you mentioned, there's that concert tomorrow on the West Lawn of the Capitol. There was supposed to be a rehearsal tonight open to the public. They closed that. It was only for essential personnel. They did not want members of the public standing out here tonight if they didn't have to. And Capitol Police said that they'll make an announcement tomorrow by 10 on the status of the concert itself. So there's a lot that people are paying attention to. We know Randy Clark, the GM of WMATA, said tonight that Metro is now experiencing some slow times on some of the tracks because, guys, the rails can actually get up to 135 degrees. If they get too hot, they can bend. So they're treating those. They said that, they're dealing with some hot cars. They're asking people for patience. So sort of whatever direction you look in tonight. My report tonight was focused primarily on D.C., but we've heard from, localities in Maryland and Virginia as well for our viewers there. I want to say it's Loudoun County that is postponing or canceling 4th of July events they have. Really, wherever you look across the DMV, things are really in flux tonight because these temperatures are just so hot. Anyone who's been outside today knows that. So there's a lot to pay attention to. It's actually hard to put this report together tonight because so much new information kept coming out and changing that we kept having to go back and update it for our viewers.
With all these converging events that are happening, Sydney, throughout the city, and different organizations are a part of this, based on your conversations, are there kind of resource strain going on with WMATA and DC Police, National Park? Are they all in coordination, or is there a lot of things up in the air right now with these constant changes?
They're definitely in coordination. In fact, that statement about the Washington Monument grounds opening later, that was a joint statement with Freedom 250, the organization that's putting this all on, National Park Service, Capitol Police, several other organizations and agencies. They are really working hand in hand. I was talking to a retired FBI agent as part of my report for 10 o'clock tonight, and he said, from an organizational and security standpoint, these organizations have been prepping for months, if not more than a year. So it's not that they aren't prepared and they're not communicating. It's just that the heat was an element that they didn't know they were going to have until pretty recently. But they all appear from what I've seen. I talked to DC's Director of Emergency Management on Sunday, Clint Osborne. Seems that they're all working pretty hand in hand. I haven't heard about a strain of resources. That's not something that we've heard of in our reporting. I just think that the heat is something that they really cannot control. They can try to mitigate it, but they obviously can't control the heat. Whereas with other, security-related issues or organizational issues, with that, time to prep, you actually can control a lot of that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Fox 5, Sydney Persing, thanks so much for not only lending some expertise to us on Taylor and Travis, but also bringing us the latest on all these.
Have me back on Taylor and Travis next time.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I have like 5 more questions that I want to ask about this because I'm an adjacent Swiftie. I like her music, but I'm not in the lore yet.
Tony P, I will help you. I will educate you.
Only a matter of time. You can catch Sydney live tonight right here on Fox 5 News at 10 and 11. Sydney, you're all clear. Thank you so much. All right, taking a live pick, though, from that Great American State Fair, Tony P. You see still a lot of people out there, and probably more out there now than there were earlier in the day when it was so brutally hot. And, when we're talking brutally hot, today was actually officially a record setter, Tony P.
No one wants to be out
the
at that
official temperature at DCA was 102 degrees today. That broke the daily record high that stood for more than a century.
Wow.
And unfortunately, and probably not surprisingly, the worst is yet to come. Extreme heat warnings now in effect for Friday and 4th of July Saturday. That means the peak heat index is expected to exceed 110 degrees on both days. I saw 113 possible tomorrow. I also saw the potential, unlikely, but the potential that we could actually set an all-time heat record here in Washington, D.C. I believe that number currently stands. The hottest it has ever been on record in Washington, D.C. is 106 degrees. Tomorrow we could be around 103. We may get that high. It totally depends on the amount of humidity. Humidity, as Mike has told us before in the past, tends to keep
Get
the
out
temperatures
early,
a
too.
little lower. So Mike will have the full forecast coming up tonight on Fox 5 News at 10 and 11 as well.
I got a
But
song
yeah,
for you, Chris.
obviously it is brutal out there, Tony.
You ready? I'm ready for my
Play it on
song.
me, son.
Okay, instead of singing "I'm going hungry," we're gonna sing "I'm going thirsty."
That's
I'm
right. You got to
going
keep that
thirsty.
water close.
I'm going thirsty.
Fox 5's Tom Fitzgerald called up with some of the people down at that state fair earlier today. They talked to him about what it was like out in that heat. Take a listen.
Oh, it is heat stroke city here.
How are you making out?
A wet rag, and sitting in the shade.
It's been brutal. Yeah. How you dealing with it? Well, some of them are handing out these cooling towels and the free water. You just keep cool down and wet.
Definitely been having a lot of ice. I've just been trying to keep a cool mentality. Really, that's all you can do because it's excessively hot.
Yeah, I don't think, unfortunately, just a cool mentality
How
is
do you do
enough
that? Because maybe I can
when
start
it feels
convincing
like
myself.
triple digits out there. One way to beat the heat, though, Tony P, is to catch all the 4th of July action right from your own home.
Nice AC.
We will be live on Fox Local, as we are every night here on the Live Zone Primetime. But we will be live on Fox Local this Saturday from 7:30 a.m. to midnight, covering the parades, fireworks, the forecast, the whole shebang. If you're watching us on YouTube right now, which we are also streaming on, and you don't have the app already, you see the QR code on the screen right now. You can scan that and download Fox Local for free. The rest of you watching us on Fox Local already, we appreciate you for always being a part of this show, joining us live. You know, the QR code that's on the screen right now, you can scan that anytime, join the Zoom room, and we can chat about the heat, we can chat about Taylor Swift, we can chat about Tony P. Absolutely. Listen, you've heard the phrase getting dunked on before. A little later tonight, we are going to show you. We are going to show you video of Tony P getting dunked on.
Is that gonna be part of Tony P's like top 10s, but the opposite of
Yeah,
that?
maybe I was saving it for the end of the show because we got to give some people a reason to watch until the very end.
It's called dessert. You give them dessert.
That's right.
So that's gonna be dessert.
That's
Also,
right.
the end. I'll plug a really cool event at Union Station if you want to stay out of the heat and see some Americana.
Yeah,
Maybe
Tony
give you a
P.
little advice for the
Tony
weekend.
P did that as well. All right,
lot of things.
let's talk a little World Cup now. We had the round of 32 action continue today. Spain and Austria out in LA in the early action. This one was never even close. Spain put on its most impressive performance of the tournament so far, winning 3-0. Get this, Tony P. Spain has yet to allow goals so far in this World Cup.
kidding me.
Yeah, right?
Wow.
All right, the other action, Portugal and Croatia. They hit the pitch at 7. Croatia, kind of like a hometown favorite because they were based in Alexandria. But
Had a good run.
unfortunately, Tony P., their time in this tournament has come to an end because they lost to Portugal 2-0 just minutes ago. Fox 5's Josh Rosenthal hanging out with some fans, because obviously, they were based in Alexandria. They made a lot of fans in Alexandria. Yeah. Josh is going to have highlights from that game and reaction coming up a little later tonight here on Fox Local. The late action tonight, Switzerland and Algeria. That game gets underway at 11 p.m. Eastern out in Vancouver. We will see who takes it in that one, Tony P.
And we have Belgium, right? Is it my
Team USA takes on Belgium in Seattle on Monday.
That's going to be.
And that was the preferred opponent from some of our in-house experts.
Right, but again, we can't overlook it.
No, not at all.
Preferred it doesn't mean that they're not a big challenge. It may just be a better match for us to play better. But I think being in Seattle, that stadium is one of the coolest things architecturally that I see in the country. It also has great sound, acoustics. Thank you.
Yeah, they're famous for their 12th man. The
12th
Seattle
man will be
Seahawks fans. Out there
on Monday,
making it loud.
How about
and
how
letting
about we
their
end a Monday after getting back to work after a long weekend and holiday? What's better than getting a nice Team USA victory?
Yeah, that's right, baby. Love to hear that. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Tony P is going to share some of the stories he's had his eye on today in today's Top 10. We'll also talk about some of the stories making headlines on Fox Local. We're going to leave you with this live picture, though, from the National Mall, where people are still out enjoying that great American State Fair on what is a Very, very, very hot evening here in the nation's capital. It is 9:20. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Welcome back to the Live Zone Primetime. If you are just joining us, we've been taking a live look at the crowds out on the National Mall for the Great American State Fair. Still going on. A little cooler than it was earlier today, but
like
not
3 degrees.
much cooler, Tony P. We want to get to some breaking news now, and this is coming to us from Prince George's County. That's where a boil water advisory is in effect after a water main break. This is for people living in southern Prince George's County. WSSC Water has issued that boil water advisory for Clinton and Accokeek following a 16-inch water main break on Livingston Road. About 3,600 customers are affected right now. WSSC says they will be setting up water distribution stations, but have not yet provided a location. Obviously, Tony P., water so crucial when we're talking about heat like this. This is a live picture from our crews out there right now, though, as you see the work underway to get things back up
it was
and running.
a lot of flow there in one of the images we got. It was a very a major break there. It was like you saw crews tending to it. It was a very strong flow there.
Yeah, I think we said a 16-inch water main, possibly. So we'll keep an eye on this. We'll have updates coming up for you tonight on Fox 5 News at 10 and 11 as well, right here on Fox Local. In the meantime, though, Tony P., we do want to talk about some of the stories making headlines on Fox Local tonight. And we are going to start off with the reflecting pool, which has been a story we have been following for a while. The Trump administration says it's sending a message that damage to America's national monuments will not be tolerated. A former U.S. Olympian has actually been indicted now on a felony charge accused of damaging the recently renovated Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. If convicted, he could face up to 10 years in prison. 67-year-old former Olympic canoeist David Hearn denies intentionally damaging the pool, with its attorneys calling the case politically motivated. U.S. Attorney Janine Pirro says it's about holding people accountable. And this one, Tony P., for all the sports fans out there. I'm back, babes. The greatest goal scorer of all time, Alex Ovechkin, coming back for another season. He posted this video on social media today, as did the Capitals. 40-year-old Alex Ovechkin signing a one-year deal with the Caps. It will be his 22nd season in the league. Ovechkin has 929 career goals and returns to a team that some sports insiders say have been very active this offseason to build a roster to get the Grade 8 one more shot at a Stanley Cup. Remember, they didn't even make the postseason last year. Ovechkin has spent his entire career rocking the red, so I know a lot of fans out there excited to see him back.
Major deal, and that deal, it's I think it's one year for $4.75 million. I think is the exact number. A $1 million salary straight, and then also $3.45 million in signing bonus, and the rest could get even higher given on performance-based bonuses, games played, things of that nature. But this seems to me, whether it be with the Capitals making these moves with Alex Ovechkin, bringing in new talent through trades this offseason and free agency, as well as the Washington Wizards, of course, with their draft prowess, doing a great job there, I sense that both of these teams are geared up to make serious playoff runs this year.
We will have to wait and see, Tony P. In the meantime,
I'm now I'm gonna triple or nothing on the bet. So in a year from now, I'll either win back all my money or triple or lose triple.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Listen, Pocari's honored their bets. That's my last name for those who don't know. Because Tony P, P can mean anything. But it's Pocari. That's Pocari's. We honor.
I swore it stood for pepperoni. All right, let's talk about Tony P's top 10 now, the stories he's had.
Tony Pepperoni's top 10. Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Good day for restaurants.
Let's do it.
And we're going to start with a very serious case, of course, out of Venezuela with the earthquakes going on down there. Security guard Hernan Alberto Gil Flores, 43, was pulled alive today from the rubble of a collapsed shopping center in Castilla-La Mar, Venezuela, 8 days after twin magnitude 7.2 and 7.5 earthquakes struck the region, killing more than 2,200 people. Rescuers from 7 countries spent more than 100 hours tunneling through unstable concrete, rain, and aftershocks to reach him, his cabin walls having had just enough space to create a survival pocket with a Costa Rican Red Cross team feeding him water and nutrients through a narrow shaft for the final 3 days. So for 5 days, he survived there, and then 3 days getting the nutrients, and he is alive and safe tonight. And, send all our prayers and wishes to him and his family during this time. Just great work and brave work by the rescuers down there from across the world and Red Cross. FBI Director Kash Patel ordered all field offices nationwide to surge 260 intelligence analysts to Atlanta by July 17th for what an internal memo calls a priority investigation into the 2020 presidential election in Fulton County, with overtime authorized, including weekends and holidays. Georgia's results were confirmed by multiple audits and hand recounts, and the investigation was referred by Kurt Olson, a White House official and former lawyer who led efforts to overturn the 2020 election on behalf of President Trump in his first term. House Democrats released a 41-page report today alleging that President Trump's Freedom 250 organization defrauded donors by routing contributions intended for the bipartisan American 250 Commission to Freedom 250's own bank accounts without donors' knowledge. Without donors' knowledge. Conduct the report says could constitute wire fraud and charitable solicitation fraud due to that conduct. Freedom 250 called the allegations categorically false and a partisan smear, unquote. The one-year federal Medicaid defunding of Planned Parenthood expired today ahead of its official July 4th lapse date after a federal appeals court declined to extend it, with Planned Parenthood saying it will immediately resume accepting Medicaid patients at remaining open facilities. Anti-abortion groups are urging Congress to pass permanent defunding legislation before the holiday weekend, noting that 57 clinics in 20 states closed or consolidated during the year-long ban. Army General Christopher Donahue relinquished command of U.S. Army Europe and Africa today at a ceremony in Wiesbaden after just 18 months in the role, stepping down in what was widely seen inside the military as a forced retirement by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Donahue, widely viewed as a potential future Army Chief of Staff, was the last American service member photographed leaving Afghanistan in August 2021, and the command was simultaneously downgraded from a 4-star to a 3-star post. The Vatican declared the Society of St. Pius X in formal schism today, excommunicating all 6 bishops involved in Wednesday's unauthorized ordination ceremony in Aachen, Switzerland, extending the penalty to all SSPX priests and invalidating the sacraments of confession and marriage they have administered. Pope Leo, of course, had written personally to the SSPX's Superior General the day before, pleading with him to please turn back, calling the consecrations a sin of extreme gravity, unquote. In the world of business, the economy added just 57,000 jobs in June, well below the consensus forecast of 115,000, and the lowest monthly total since February of 2025, with leisure and hospitality losing 61,000 jobs in April, and May payrolls were revised down a combined 74,000 total. The unemployment rate ticked down to 4.2%, largely due to a drop in labor force participation to its lowest level since March of 2021, Chris. And stock futures rose as traders eased their expectations for a Federal Reserve rate hike. So the market's doing some mixed responses to this situation here. The Treasury Department announced today that Trump accounts, the new tax-advantaged child savings program launching on the 4th of July, will invest contributions in ETFs from State Street, BlackRock, and Vanguard, with State Street's SPDR S&P 500 ETF as the default option. The accounts provide a one-time $1,000 Treasury deposit for children born between 2025 and 2028, allow up to $5,000 in additional annual contributions, and have already attracted over 6 million signups as of today. Danny Glover, age 79, revealed in an exclusive Today Show interview that he has been living with Alzheimer's disease since his 2023 diagnosis, telling NBC's Lester Holt that his speech, movements, and memories have slowed since then. Glover said his family has my back and that he hopes going public will help remove some of the stigma surrounding the disease. Truly one of the greatest actors of any generation, and we send all of our love and prayers to him during this time, an absolute icon. And finally, Tracee Ellis Ross spoke with The Hollywood Reporter today ahead of her Broadway debut next Monday, July 7th, in the Tony-nominated solo play Every Brilliant Thing at the Hudson Theater, calling it a full-circle moment. Ross, 53, succeeds Marissa Hargitay in the one-person show, following Daniel Radcliffe, who opened the run in March and plays through August 9th. Absolutely love Tracee Ellis Ross, and I think it's wonderful watching her and other stars throughout the last, I'd say, 5 years go from plays to musicals, trying different things. Like we have actors doing music, we have musicians doing different acting roles. It's really cool watching a lot of these stars do that and really get out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, and this was the role that Mariska Hargitay was doing when she talked about running straight from the stage to Madison Square Garden so that she could make those NBA Finals, postseason and championship games.
And again, going from TV to live action on the play, that is really hard to do.
Yeah.
We saw Clooney do it with Good Night and Good Luck, based on his movie that he did, and just truly, incredible range. Also, one final kind of dessert headline for you: Michael Rubin, the Fanatics CEO, held his annual July 4th
his white party.
That was technically on the 2nd, and Tom Brady, Alex Earl, we had Fat Joe was there. I mean, everybody.
Alex Rodriguez making out with somebody.
Very major moment there, but again, a lot of celebrities showing up, and it's basically now a staple in the summer. And so many. It's so interesting seeing Jay-Z and musicians and Grammy Award winners, Oscar winners, and you have influencers now showing up. Like, it really goes to show you that that's the way pop culture has been reshaped.
No question about it.
They did talk about the fact that it was moved. But, it was about the Taylor Swift wedding and Travis Kelce. But Michael Rubin did say that no matter what date it was, people were going to show up. And it's a $50 million mansion. I think it's Bridgehampton as part of the Hamptons. I mean, he literally has the beach within inches of his kitchen. And it's really, I got to say, that's a pretty good setup there.
Not bad at all. All right, if you are just joining us, that is a live picture. I know it just kind of moved on us, but that is a live picture from Prince George's County, where a water main break is forcing a boil water advisory for parts of southern Prince George's County. Yep. Tony P., we also just got this live picture up. I don't know any details about this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick break.
Yes.
I'm going to step away. I'm going to find out what's going on, where this is, what's going on. In the meantime, though, we talked about Travis and Taylor at the top of the hour. We talked about that $26 million donation that they made. Coming up next, we are going to talk to the CEO of one of the organizations that benefited from that donation. Hang tight with us. It is 9:33. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Janice, this is Chris at Fox 5 in DC. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I don't see you right now. Is your camera on?
I thought it was.
Right now, I just see a black screen. Is it possible to double check or log out and log back in?
Sure. I will try.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, welcome back to the Live Zone Primetime on this Thursday night. If you are just joining us live, we have some more breaking news we're bringing to you right now. This is a live picture from Fairfax County. That's where officers are on the scene of a fatal pedestrian crash at Richmond Highway and Dart Drive. This is Hybla Valley. According to Fairfax County Police's X-Page preliminary investigation shows that an adult female was struck by a pickup truck while operating a mobility wheelchair. She was transported to a local hospital where she later died. The driver remained on the scene and was not injured. Northbound Richmond Highway closed at Dart Drive. That was as 13 minutes ago. Police ask that you use an alternate route. Detectives from our crash reconstruction unit are responding to investigate. So,
Just awful, awful.
Tragic scene out there.
Yep, those are some of the scariest moments of crashes like that, especially involving a mobility device like that. Just truly awful.
Yeah, so we'll have an update on this story coming up on Fox 5 News at 10 and 11 as well. In the meantime, Tony P, we do want to keep this show moving right along.
Yes.
And we're taking you back up to New York City, which is where allegedly, Tony P, allegedly, Travis
Yes.
and Taylor.
I'm not getting married.
The soon-to-be Mr. and Mrs. Taylor Swift are having a little rehearsal before what is supposed to be tomorrow's big event. And we mentioned a little earlier tonight that ahead of that rumored wedding this weekend, the soon-to-be couple, the soon-to-be spouses, opened their wallets in addition to their hearts, donating $26 million to organizations in New York and beyond. One of them was Education Through Music, and tonight CEO Janice Weinman joins us live to talk all about this and much more. Janice, thank you so much for spending some time with us tonight here on the Live Zone Primetime.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
All right, so my first question for you is, when you got the call that this $2 million donation was coming into your organization, what went through your mind? Like, what was your very first reaction?
My first reaction was, I can't believe it. I mean, this was a total surprise. It was just a windfall that we never expected, and it means so much to our organization because it means that we'll be able to serve so many more underserved students throughout New York City.
Now, when this whole situation with Taylor Swift, and Travis Kelce giving this money, did you know that both Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift knew the organization or had done work in the past, with the group, or is this kind of a random thing in your mind?
I don't know if it's random or not, but we certainly did not have any contact with them, nor vice versa. This was a complete surprise for us, and we really don't know exactly how they came to us, but we're delighted.
That's fantastic. Hey, you obviously made an impact on them.
Not only made an impact on them, but now just them doing this spreads the message of the work that you do.
Right.
Not only to so many people in New York who may not know about it, but beyond New York. And so for viewers who don't know about your organization, can you tell us a little bit about what Education Through Music is and what a gift of this size actually will do for you?
Sure. Education Through Music is a not-for-profit organization that provides music to underserved students as a core subject, and that's important. It's embedded in the school as a regular subject in under-resourced schools. We provide the teachers, we provide the music and the instruments, we provide teacher training so that students who otherwise would never be exposed to music education have the opportunity to learn skills that they can then use in many different ways, skills of discipline, skills of attention, skills of creativity and independence. And that really affects their self-confidence, their independence, and also their academic achievement.
When, really working with these schools and students alike, what are some of the results that you've seen in terms of their path? Do a lot of students end up, going the musical route in a career path, or do they really use those skills in other ways as well?
They really develop a sense of confidence and a sense of joy that there's something that they really enjoy doing, and that really helps them build their future. It makes them feel that they have something they can offer. It makes them feel that people really recognize their musical abilities, their rhythm, their harmony. And we have seen them perform both in schools and in multiple places. The Apollo Theater, the Beacon Theater, Yankee Stadium. What this money does for us, it allows us to go beyond the 18,000 students in New York City that we currently serve to many, many more, to people who really would have no exposure to music education. And we have schools, a waiting line for schools that really want to be able to provide this, and now we'll be able to do so.
That's awesome.
So obviously not every little kid gets to grow up to be Taylor Swift. I mean, I know that that's the dream, but what is it about music that really changes lives, and why is this such an important cause? And we know Taylor has long been a champion of music and creativity. So what is it about music that has such a transformative effect on people's lives?
There are many things that really help students grow through music. They feel a sense of independence. They feel that they have abilities, that they can express their own emotions. They can hear their voices sing, and they can play instruments that make them feel that they are accomplishing something. All of this leads not necessarily to musicians, but to people who grow up feeling a sense of self-confidence, of independence, an ability to create things through music that they otherwise would not. And these skills are transferable to other areas, which is so wonderful. It helps them in other subjects. It makes them feel appreciated because when they perform, people are just so proud.
Yep.
And so the joy is so great. It makes them want to come to school. We've heard from kids that on the days where they have music, it is really a day that they want to attend school.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as someone who, played even recorder in middle school, it brought a lot. Now, as you talked about, you work with a lot of schools that are underfunded, and we're seeing music and art get cut across the country still to this day, which is just completely crazy to me. When it comes to this money and the deployment of these resources, where is it the hardest to expand this, and how will this money make that easier?
We, through the money, will be able to hire more teachers. We'll be able to go into more schools. We'll be able to get more instruments. We'll be able to bring in people who can evaluate what we're doing well and what we should improve so that we can really continue a high quality, comprehensive, sustainable program. This is something that, as I said before, we have a waiting list of schools who really want to do this because they can see what the effect is on the students who have been exposed to music and education.
So we mentioned at the top that, just them recognizing your organization brings so much more attention to it. When celebrities donate to charities, or not charities, but to organizations like yours, it can inspire more people to open their wallets as well. Not everyone will necessarily be able to donate $2 million, but what message do you have for people who want to support music education beyond New York City? Obviously, we're here in the, in the nation's capital, the DMV area. What can they do?
We do actually provide music education through a partnership with a number of YouTube, for example, with a number of others, with United Music Group. So we are expanding to students through online opportunities. But what we want to say is music is so important to the development of the child's self-confidence, child's ability to feel that they can really accomplish something. And for people who want to make small donations are just as meaningful as large ones. Small donations can really add up and can provide other students the opportunity throughout the country, we hope, ultimately, to really take advantage of a program that really is there for them every day in the school, that they can turn to their teachers for so much encouragement, so much support, and so much understanding of their own potential. And that's what we try to do. We're not trying to create musicians. We're trying to really help students come into their own.
When you look at the future in terms of music and everything's being influenced by AI now and how technology, you just mentioned YouTube being a major partner, when working with students in this educational way, how do you balance the technological needs, but also the need to create that music and to make that unique sound? Because it can be really tough given this new tech environment.
Well, we've taught students at an early age how to use computers so that they can create their own music through it. We also have groups of students who work together so that they can synchronize their different input. Yeah. It's really both an individual opportunity for a different route of creativity as well as a group opportunity. And both of those teach them not only the value of music, but also how to use technology as a way of expression, as a way of creativity, as a way of relating to others if they do it as part of a group. Right. So it is really a progressive process that we take through the grades. We're from K to 12, so we have the opportunity to really influence students as they progress through their educational experience.
That's really cool.
Janice, I know you didn't get a chance to thank Taylor and Travis in person, but if you were going to send them a message, if you had the opportunity to meet them face to face and thank them for this, what would you want to tell them?
I would want to tell them that they've really given a gift, not to an organization, but to students throughout New York City. That they've given a gift of potential, of opportunity, a gift that really can make a difference in the life of a child. It's transformative. And I also would say that they're giving the gift of setting an example. This is a couple that really, they're caring for others. Their consciousness about the needs of people other than they themselves is really a model that I think says a lot and has a message that's very important.
Absolutely. And as the future goes on, do you foresee not just, great philanthropic partnerships, but like celebrity musicians or artists partnering and helping to teach or things of that nature, providing educational resources as well?
I see this as a great opportunity and great potential because I think artists understand what this has done for them. And so they can try to apply that to other people who they feel might be able to have the same opportunities that they do and ultimately be able to contribute to the field of music, to the broader field of arts, to so many different things, even to business, because we have many businessmen who have told us, and businesswomen who've told us that when they had a musical experience and when they learned music, it was really fundamental to their ability to do some important work in their own careers.
Exactly.
Janice, my final two questions for you. One, were you a Swiftie before this, and are you now?
Good question.
If you were going to be inspired by Taylor's music, to teach Taylor's music in the classroom, is there one song that you would want to? And finally, if people want to learn more about your organization, where can they go to do that?
Thank you. First of all, yes, I was a Swiftie fan beforehand. I can't isolate one particular song because there's so many that I really relate to and that I love to hear. And if I could speak to the people out there who you are broadcasting to, I would say, please consider contributing at any level to education through music at etmonline.org to make the minds of other children sing. That is our motto, making minds sing, because that's what we see has happened and what we can see can happen to many more students.
Could not agree more. When you think about the attention deficit crisis that we have with the social media, the fact that we still have music going with organizations like yours, God bless you. It's so important to bring this to kids because I loved having choir when I was in 4th and 5th grade, and this is great that so many students are getting it.
Education through
And
music.
appreciating it, and appreciating it. This is a gift that will allow many, many more to really be able to understand what the value of music is and to flourish as a result of it.
Yeah, and confidence.
So,
You said confidence, which I think is so true, and like it gives people that autonomy, right, to really go out there and present, even public speaking. Like you can apply those things through what music is being done. So I think this is wonderful.
thank you so much, and we really hope we'll be able to apply this to the best use possible.
Yeah.
And we are extremely grateful for the opportunity.
Oh, we thank you for
thank you for
joining
coming
us
on.
tonight on the Live Zone Primetime. Education Through Music CEO Janice Weinman, thank you again, and good luck with all
Thank
of
you.
your future works with the money that Taylor and Travis donated to you.
Thank you, and thank you for having me on.
Of course. All right, Tony P.
That was awesome.
It is 9:50 on this Thursday night, taking a live look at the crowd still out there right now on the National Mall for the Great American State Fair. Tony P., it is hot out there. It is hot out there.
It's, I got it right here. It
earlier
is
today,
96.
Yeah, please, yes. So Tony P.
The 96 still? Yeah, it is 96.
We mentioned at the top of the show, somewhere in the middle.
Oh, down to
that
88 now.
Some days, you know, listen, we've heard the phrase getting dunked on before.
No.
But nothing like we
forgot
saw
we were gonna do this.
earlier today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this
No,
video right
no,
now. I want you to
no.
watch
No,
out there.
I don't.
And then I want Tony P. to explain
It's not necessary.
what we
It
just
really
saw.
isn't necessary.
Stand by.
Let's go. Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Dunked on. Let's see it again.
Yeah.
Let's see it again.
I don't think we need a replay. We need another replay?
Oh, darn, I forgot to hit. There
see,
we go. Here
great.
it comes.
See, I just dunked on you.
Yes, you did.
Let's go. Oh, yeah.
Listen,
Tony
okay,
P.
by the
getting
way,
his ankles broken
all right,
in
pretty.
a suit.
Hey, all right. I kept my own. Okay, don't forget now. This is all.
Driver, baby. Let's do this.
Down goes Frazier.
Ooh,
Down goes Frazier.
Okay,
Tony P. Tell us what we're watching.
Okay, so first of all, I just want to give a big shout out to the Hoop Bus, which is a national campaign where this bus goes across the country to have activations, to bring students together with faculty, with community members, to do one-on-one games, different summer camp activities. They are a wonderful organization, so thank you to them for having me out there today. They DM'd me this week and said, can you come by? I said, absolutely. I made one point, though. I said, could I wear a suit? Because I wanted to see if I could actually do it and maybe keep my own, or at least hold myself up to a decent standard. And it obviously shows that the suit may have been a bad thing for aerodynamics or efficiency.
So you think it was the suit?
I think it was, yes. No, first of all, okay.
You know, there is.
I understand I'm not an
There's a famous
athlete.
movie in the 90s.
Oh, no. Which one?
It stars Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes.
Oh, yes, I know. Yes. I've watched the movie many times. And you know what? I do confirm that title, okay? I totally understand that.
Thank you for Jaylen Brown, by the way.
You got to bring that up today? Second day into that?
I woke up to a
Who
text.
won in that trade? Anybody out there, who won in that trade? Because not the Red Sox, the Celtics put up Jaylen Brown for Giannis. We're supposed to get Giannis, and I was all for that. You mortgage that. The minute you put Jaylen Brown on the trading block, you're going to lose him for good. And
I woke
instead,
up to a text
you give
message
a horrible trade
at 6:26 a.m. that says, "So are we getting Sixers season tickets now, or what?" That is from my brother. No, because I'll be here in Washington. But yeah, that sounds exciting.
This is sad. I mean, so back to my basketball prowess. I had played like 7 games up to that point. Okay, so I was tired. I was sweating. I thought I was going to be able to go from there in my suit to a meeting. I was so drenched. I went back home and took a shower again 2 hours after I took the first shower. So I was really tired, okay?
It doesn't surprise me.
I had good defense. What you didn't see is how many times I played 4 or 5 games before that, and I stopped everybody on defense. And I'll be putting out a video of my own.
That's my man right
with all the actual evidence. Now,
check out Tony
I
P's
also did play like Kramer and Seinfeld. I played
Instagram.
against 10-year-old kids.
Yes, exactly.
It's like, so,
check out his Instagram.
By the way, they're also great athletes and great kids,
Clearly.
wonderful students. And
Tony
just
P
shout out
getting
to Howard
dunked on was
for,
my favorite video
Yes, that
of
was
the
fun.
day. My second favorite video of the day, speaking of how hot it was out there, had to do with the heat, and this is a hot take from the guys.
Oh, yeah,
over
KFC,
at
baby. I'm going to
Barstool.
text him after this.
Take a listen.
The single most
I gotta text
overrated thing in all of humanity is the summertime. This it ain't for humans, man. This ain't, Death Valley, folks. I'm living in the Northeast. It's 101 degrees before the Price is Right is over. I saw a report saying it's going to be 120 in Virginia. Donnie's trying to compromise with New Yorkers and save Con Ed's ass during this heat wave, telling everyone to make it a frosty 78 degrees in their house. 78 degrees? Fahrenheit? In this weather? I'm not kidding you right now. I swear to God, if somebody told me that I had to live in 78-degree temperature indoors for the rest of my life, I would kill myself. But this is just summer. And this is just everyone's favorite season. You kidding me, man? Summer is nothing but sweating, chafing, sunburn, applying sunblock. It's just the other extreme when it comes to weather and temperature. Like in the winter, people hate the winter because it gets so cold, and you have those days that are like single digits. We hate that, right? Because it's so extremely cold. Well, when it's extremely hot, it's just as bad. As a matter of fact, it's worse. Because in the wintertime, you could do something about the cold. You put on a nice fire. You put on a pair of sweatpants, a sweatshirt, jacket, a blanket. You can get warmer. You can't, get cooler out there. I can't take off my clothes. I can't be walking around naked. I'm getting a sunburn on my and I'm going to jail. And everybody says, well, yeah, but then you go to the beach, or you go to a pool. And it's like, okay, yeah. Well, if I need those things to make this enjoyable, then I don't like it. It's like the same thing as a blizzard. It's like, well, you can go skiing and sledding and make snowmen. It's like, well, yeah, but it sucks.
But it sucks.
But it sucks.
So
no lies detected.
I think
Tony
he's right.
P. He's absolutely right.
KFC with another win, like he usually has. I mean,
Yeah.
so it's funny. So KFC and I follow each other on social media. When I was first going viral, Big Cat, a lot of the Barstool personalities. Hey, there I am, two of us. Just the two of us.
How did I do that?
Look
what
at
did
me.
I just do?
What's better than
What did I
two
just
Tony
do?
P's? I mean,
What did I just do?
Double trouble Tony P, but I'll just keep talking.
Please do.
So
While
KFC
I fix these mistakes that I
was one of my first major, I would say,
That's
celebrity
what I meant.
follows, okay?
Mhm.
Him and Big Cat. And him and I DM now and again. I love his takes. I think he's
This was one of the best. I mean, shout out to my friend Andrew
So well
Lewis. Shout out to my friend Andrew Lewis who sent this to me
Yeah.
and asked for opinions. And I wrote back, this is 100% the correct take.
Accurate.
Summer is awful when you have to actually exist as a human being.
Right.
When you're a kid and it's summer vacation,
Yes.
then it's the greatest thing in the world.
Exactly.
Hot weather in and of itself, if you are on vacation and you are near a beach or you are near a pool and you don't have to walk to work, you don't have to ride the metro, you don't have to show up in a professional setting drenched in sweat, then it's awesome.
It is.
Any other time,
Right.
it is the literal worst thing in the world.
I go to Arizona sometimes, and I'll go in August. I don't know why. I mean, this is dumb, but I go. This is similar to that, if not
The
worse.
humidity is the worst part of it.
It's
And
the
I mean,
worst. It just
to use
dries
one of
you
my
out.
favorite phrases of all time. It's not the heat; it's the humidity that gets you.
You're right.
It is unbearable. I hate it.
I don't
so
care
much.
what it is.
This is a swamp for so many reasons.
Yes.
I know people say that all the time, but it is a literal swamp when it comes to the humidity. And
Oh, yeah.
the swamp, it's.
I'd rather be in a steam room, to be honest with
Tony
you.
loves his schwitz,
I mean,
but this
give
is
me a
not
schwitz.
it.
I'd rather be
This
that
ain't
because then
it.
I can get out of it.
Yeah.
Versus this. I mean,
But
you
also,
can't.
like, you're not wearing a polyester suit
No.
and dress clothes while you're in a
My suit's like
sauna.
ruined now, probably because
Oh,
of that.
my
And like,
goodness gracious.
And when you think about it, the holidays are nice. You have July 4th, you have Memorial Day, which of course we remember a lot of great things during this time. But like, I don't see it. I mean, I like now that I'm an
Overrated.
adult. Now that I work for myself and I work here for Fox, like I have a lot of obligations, summer, winter, fall, no matter when it is. So I don't really get the benefit anymore that you see when you were in college or you were in high school or even like as a kid.
Rated.
It is. And I think it's a great take. I think it's an excellent take.
It's a great
and
take.
I'm going to text KFC after we get off the air. I'm going to go, dude, we covered you tonight. I'm going to send the
Right.
footage.
And you were right.
Because maybe
And
I'll
we
be in the next
agree.
video. Maybe you and I will be in the next video. In the next
Thank you to everyone
Fox.
who joined us on the stream tonight, whether you're watching on Fox Local or Fox 5 DC's YouTube page. We'll be back tomorrow night covering
Yes.
more Taylor and Travis wedding
Yep.
excitement
And advice for the
and
weekend.
much more. We're also going to hear from the stars of season 3 of Silo, which premieres on Apple TV Plus tomorrow. That's
nice.
Tony P. I'm producer Chris. Have a wonderful night. Stay cool. Fox 5 News at 10 is coming your way next. We're going to leave you with this live picture of Madison Square Garden up in the Big Apple.